Welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Dr. Greg. Today we're going to look at a subject that has the potential to change your life. Specifically, the power of your own memories, whether these can actually be trusted, and how you can use this knowledge to shape your future. So welcome to Dr. Greg's Guide to Reimagining Your Future. Now before we get into the science part of this video, I'm going to tell you a story. It's a particularly tragic story that involves animal cruelty, a jailbreak, and, well, you'll just have to stick around to hear the outcome. Our story is set in the late 1980s at the Heidelberg Zoo in Germany. In this zoo, in a cage that is only 36 foot long and 18 foot wide, there lived a brown grizzly bear. This bear had been born into captivity. It had never known freedom. It had never known anything except the confines of its small cage. His entire life consisted of nothing more than walking around the perimeter of his cage, day after day, hour after hour. Walk 18 feet, turn right. Walk 36 feet, turn right. Walk 18 feet, turn right. Walk 36 feet, turn right, start again. On and on it went, day after day, for his entire life. A tragic life, imprisoned by concrete and steel. Now it just so happened that the Heidelberg Zoo decided that they needed to build a more animal-friendly zoo, one that had enclosures rather than cages. The zoo took years to complete, and when it was finished, the zookeepers moved the grizzly bear to his new home. The zookeepers opened the transport truck to the brand new enclosure. In front of the bear was a wide green pasture with trees, water and flowering bushes. Well, can you guess what the bear did? Nothing. That's right, the bear looked out of the back of the transport truck with the door wide open to its newfound paradise and just sat down. The zookeepers just left the bear there for about 20 minutes, thinking maybe he just needed some time to readjust to his new life. But as the time rolled by, they realised they would need to intervene. They tried everything to coax the bear out. Food, water, toys, nothing worked. In the end, they had no choice but to prod the bear out from the back of the truck. Finally the bear was out, sitting on the green grass ready to enjoy his new life. He stood up in the middle of the green expanse, and can you guess what he did? He walked 18 feet, turned right, then he walked 36 feet, turned right, round and round, the exact same area as his cage had been. Hour after hour went by, and the bear simply walked in the same circuit that he had grown up with all his life. The bear's body was free, but his mind was still locked in that cage. The good news is that they were eventually able to rehabilitate the bear so that he could enjoy the new enclosure, but it took weeks. What's more, the bear was never truly free. The zookeepers found that when the bear was anxious or frightened, he would revert to walking his 18 by 36 cage in the middle of an open green pasture. You see, although the bear was free, he had never truly found freedom. Now I want you just to stop and think about that for a moment. You see, in many ways, we are all like that bear. We have constraints, often imposed by our own thinking, that keep us trapped in our past and stop us from changing our future. Oftentimes, this is actually caused by memories of times when we've tried something and failed, or events in our past that have made their way into our subconscious and simply sit there day in and day out telling us that we aren't good enough, or that we can't do this thing or that thing. Often we can forget why we think this way. Other times, we can remember the exact event that caused us to know, and I mean really know, that we can't do that new thing or be successful at that new challenge. But let's just hold that thought for a moment, because now it's time for some science. Hans Stoffel, in his book Hurting Memories and Beneficial Forgetting, claims that memory is not an objective retrieval of former events, but a process of active production in every new moment of remembering. It is not recall, but restructuring, depending on social expectations, the present context, and subjective wishes. Memories can easily be induced from the outside. In particular, I want you to look at the sentence that our memories are not recall, but restructuring, depending on social expectation, the present context, and subjective wishes. In other words, we don't actually recall things when we remember, we only think we do. And how about this from Julia Shaw? Our perception of the world is deeply imperfect. Our brains only bother to remember a tiny piece of what we actually experience. And every time we remember something, we have the potential to change the memory that we're accessing. Julia then goes on to claim that every memory you have is chock full of errors. She would even go so far as saying that your memory is largely an illusion. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, that's BS. I have a great memory, and I can recall all sorts of details about events. Are you sure? There have been numerous empirical studies that show that the people who think they have the most detailed memories probably really only have the most effective imaginations, and that most of what they think they recall is simply their imagination filling in the blanks. In a recent article published in Psychology Today, we read this: although memories seem to be solid, straightforward sum of who people are, strong evidence suggests that memories are actually quite complex, subject to change, and often unreliable. Memories can be restructured as people age, and also as their worldview changes. They can falsely recall childhood events, and through effective suggestion can even create new false memories. They can be tricked into remembering things that never happened, or change the detail of things that really did happen. So what does all this mean for us? Well, just like the Heidelberg bear, many of us find ourselves trapped in a prison of our own minds. We take our unconscious bias with us into every decision we make. Decisions about what we're good at and what we're not good at. Our ability to learn things, even who we can and can't trust. All these unconscious biases are founded on, you guessed it, subconscious memories. Unfortunately, we now know for certain that many of these memories can't be trusted. At the very least, they should all be viewed skeptically. So what does this mean for you? Well, maybe it means that you should take a fresh look at what you think you're capable of. Maybe it means that you shouldn't let your future just happen to you, but that you should make the decision not to judge your present abilities and capabilities based on your memories. Who knows? Maybe you are, right now, sitting in a broad, expansive field of opportunities, and the only thing holding you back is the prison of your own mind. So why not stop relying on those old memories that remind you why you aren't good at something, or to tell you that you've tried this before and failed? The chances are that those memories are not as real as you think they are. So don't let your questionable memories of yesterday define what you can become tomorrow. Stop. Choose to put those memories behind you and start reimagining what your future could be. Your new future self will thank you for it. This has been another presentation from Enso Consulting. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I'm Dr. Greg. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you again soon.